What's going on, everybody? KingofDragons 5000 here, coming at you with another figure review. Today we'll be having a look at the Hasbro G.I. Joe Classified Series, Destro. And so here we have the G.I. Joe Classified Destro posed and out of the packaging. Before we take a look at the figure, let's actually run through his accessories really fast. Destro does come with two different firearms. We do get his Cobra Blaster, which is red and black. I do like the detailing on it. This is probably my favorite gun that he has. He also does come with a golden gun, which looks really nice. I do like the detailing on it, and if you don't want him holding the golden gun, it does fit in his side holster. His final accessory is, of course, a briefcase with the Cobra logo embossed on it, looking really good, and it does open up to show a pile of money and some computer screens, which looks really nice. I do like that accessory. Other than that, Destro doesn't come with anything else. No alternate hands, no extra firearms, although there is one thing I wish he did come with, but we'll get into that in a little bit. So with that out of the way, guys, let's actually take a closer look at Destro. And so here we have a closer look at Chrome Dome himself, and I think Hasbro's done a really fantastic job with Destro here. Out of the three main Cobra villains, being Cobra Commander, Baroness, and Destro, I think Destro is my least favorite. However, this figure is amazing. I really love the detailing they put onto this figure, and this really does make me appreciate Destro more than I originally did. I think this is a solid rendition of the figure. Now, I know a lot of people wanted a chrome finish for his head. I'm not really fond of chrome finishes on figures. They do tend to chip really easy, and I think the metallic paint that they went with was the way to go. You can see that silver is beautiful. It glistens wonderfully. Now, one thing I am a fan of is that they did add these lines to Destro's head here. It does help bring out some detailing, and you can see there's some more lines right there. Just overall loving these panel lines that they decide to add onto the figure. And then on the back, you can see they did add some more detail. So it's not just a solid silver head, they actually put some detailing into it. You can even see his ears right there, done exceptionally well. And I love the black eyes that just pierce through the silver. I don't know what it is about those black eyes, it works so much for the figure. And one thing I really do like is the detailing right here on his neck. They continue that silver paint scheme, and then right here at the base of his neck you can see the studded collar, the thing that's affixing his chrome to his head, and that is very well done. We of course do have his gold gem, or his gold necklace and ruby right there, which look really nice. I do like that little detail. And something I never noticed until I saw it with this figure, his collar is in the shape of the Cobra emblem. I don't know why it took me so long to put two and two together, but yeah, that's kind of interesting that they did make the collar right here the Cobra emblem. So really nice detail. And then we do have his flesh tone right there, which I'm not a fan of how they did it. It's sculpted nicely, but they applied so much paint on it. You can see that it's kind of gloopy in some areas. It's really noticeable up close, but from a distance you'll never notice it, and it does take away some of the detail with as much paint as they added. And I do understand why they did that, because they were applying flesh color onto black, which is very difficult to do. So having a look at Destro himself, for a very plain costume they added so much nice detail on it. Like right here you can see they did add some padding right here on his chest, which does go onto his shoulder. That looks really nice, and you can see that it is a dark gray amongst the black. So really fantastic job there. And if we turn him around, that padding continues, and we do get some seam work right here with some leather bounding armor that he has on him. He does have some leather armor, which I'm gonna guess his suit is comprised mostly of leather just by the texturing right here. But that's some really awesome texture. I love how that comes out. Looks so nice, and you can see it does have some paneling right here, which I think that's a really nice contrast. We have the padding right here, the leather, and then the smooth texture right there. Unfortunately, we don't get any of that leather on the arms, but we do get some differentiating texture right here, which looks really cool. I do like that, and you can see it is separated by that seam line. Arms looking really snazzy there. And then we do have his gauntlet with the rocket launcher, which I think that's a missed opportunity, that these are not removable. I have tried to take them off, but they are glued on there. Now, this is the one accessory I wish they included, was removable rockets. I think that would have been really cool to have Destro with his removable rocket launcher. That would be so cool, but unfortunately they didn't do that with this figure, which I'm a little bit bummed about. His gauntlets are of course a silver gunmetal, which they're not as chrome as his dome right here, which I'm perfectly okay with. I do like the differentiating colors of silver. And then we do get onto his gloves right here, which you can see he does have some armor plating on them, which it's just in the black plastic. It's not painted, unfortunately. Moving on to the lower part of his costume, you can see they continue that gray padding right here on the bottom. On the back, we do have it right here at the base of his spine. Then we do have his belt, which is done in that same gunmetal that we saw his bracers in. And then we do have the red buckles and everything right there. Kind of odd that they would make his holster a bright red. I don't know why they didn't just continue that in that same gunmetal motif and then add red highlights. I think if the holster was the same gunmetal with some highlights of red, I'd like it a little bit better. But having a look at the holster, you can see he has an extra magazine right here. We do have a survival pouch there, and then of course the clips in the back. We do have the holster, which if you really wanted to, you can put his gold blaster in there, or his gold pistol. Looks really nice. It does add some really nice contrast with the gold along the black. Just overall liking the detailing on this figure. He does have knee pads, which that seems to be a recurring thing. They did give almost every character knee pads, which I can understand why. That's a really sensitive area. And I do like the fact that you can see what would appear to be wraps right here at the knees to hold the knee pads. His boots do tuck over his pants, which that's a really nice detail. Then we do have his gray boots, which you can see some straps. You can see the laces underneath that. Looking really snazzy there. I do like the texturing everywhere on his costume. You see he does have like an old western style boot strap right here. Looking really nice. I love that old western style boot strap. It looks fantastic on the figure. And then we do have steel toes, which you would expect that from a villain. Destro here is looking really nice. I do love how he came out. So with that out of the way, guys, let's actually get him compared to other figures you may have in your collection. So here we have Destro posed next to a Marvel Legends Cyclops and a DC Multiverse Superman. Here we have Destro posed next to a WWE Elite Scale figure and a Mezco 1/12 Collective, Popeye the Sailor Man. Here we have Destro posed next to a Lightning Collection White Ranger and a Star Wars Black Series Mandalorian. And finally, here we do have Destro posed next to the G.I. Joe Classified Cobra Commander and Baroness. So with the comparisons out of the way, let's actually run through Destro's articulation. Now he does have the standard G.I. Joe Classified articulation, being a ball hinge here at the head, and he can look up to about right there before his head does butt up against the collar. He can look down to about right there, which looks really good. He can of course turn his head left and right. Now he does have a ball joint here at the base of his neck. As you can see, there is some flesh tone poking through, but because of the studs of the collar, you really don't get too much movement out of it. You can give him some side to side pivot, but again, those studs do limit some articulation, so do be aware of that. We do have a butterfly joint which does go back and forth. Out to the side, no problem. As you can see, it goes a little bit better than horizontal. We get a full rotation. Bicep swivel works absolutely fine. We have a double bend here at the elbow, but because his bracers do get in the way, you might only get 90 degrees out of it. That's one joint. Can we get a little bit better than 90? Yeah, just slightly better than 90, unfortunately. We do have a swivel and a hinge here at the wrist. Now the hinge is vertical, so you can get him in gun wielding poses, so I do like that. He does have an ab crunch which goes back to about there, goes forward to about there. Really loving the ab crunch on Destro. Waist swivel as well as ball joint at the waist, so that does aid in posing him, so really good there. We have ball hinges at the hips which do drop down quite a bit. That is an extreme drop down, I'm not gonna lie. And with that, he can kick his leg out to the side, no problem. Going forward, yes, that's fine. Going back, out to the side, he can do flying ninja kicks, so do with that as you will. He does have thigh swivel, which works fine. Double jointed knees, which are kind of stiff on mine, but they do work. Do like that. He does have boot swivel, which is standard for the G.I. Joe figures. We do have a hinge in the ankle going back and forward just slightly, and then forward facing pin for rocker ankle. And all the joints are nice on Destro. Some of them are tight, but they're not too tight where I feel like I'm going to break the figure, so I do like that. So with that out of the way, guys, let's actually get him posed for my final thoughts, and then we'll wrap up this review. And so here we have the G.I. Joe Classified Destro posed for my final thoughts. And overall, I really do like the way this figure came out. He is marked with so much detail. I do like it. Now, I do have some issues with the paint, specifically on the flesh tone. Now, I do understand why Hasbro applied it kind of thick, and that's mainly because it is really hard to get good flesh tones on black plastic, but they could have done it in a different way. They could have made his entire chest piece a separate appliance, molded in flesh tone, and then glued that down. But I can see how that can cause some issues with the figure, so the way they did it, I guess it's okay. But overall, I really don't have too many complaints about this figure. I think they did a fantastic job with Destro. Like I said, Destro was never my favorite G.I. Joe villain. I was more of a Storm Shadow kind of guy. But this is a really solid figure, and I do really like how he came out. I think the accessories on Destro works. I just kind of feel like they missed an opportunity with not having removable rockets that you can attach to his arm to make it look like he's firing those rockets. Wrist rockets are always a fun little accessory to have, and it does blow my mind that they didn't give us the option to have wrist rockets with Destro. I mean, they are there, but they're not shooting, so they're not really that much fun. It's a nice little detail, but I would have preferred having wrist rockets. So overall, Destro here is a fun figure to have, especially if you've been collecting the G.I. Joe Classified series, and he is one of the main villains, so I can see why a lot of people would want Destro in their collection. If you are looking for Destro, the G.I. Joe Classified series has been very hard to come by in my area. I'm not gonna lie, I've only seen Lady J, and she is probably warming the pegs from now until the end of time, but Destro here is still available on sites like Big Bad Toy Store, Amazon, Target.com, Walmart.com, so your best bet is probably getting this guy online along with the other G.I. Joe figures. If you're lucky enough to find him, Destro here will look great in any G.I. Joe collection, and he will only run you $20. With that being said, guys, I'm KingofDragons 5000. Don't forget to like this video, leave a comment, subscribe to my channel. Go ahead and check out all my other action figure reviews as well as all my other G.I. Joe Classified videos. Hopefully you find them informative. As always, if there's a figure you would like to see me review, let me know down in the comments, and if it fits in my collection, I'll gladly have a look at it. While you're at it, check out my Instagram account for new and exciting action figure photos, and as always, ring that bell to be notified every time I upload a video. Until next time, guys, I'll see you later. Take care, everyone.